obviously, I'm sure, is slower than Coach Fannin and what Iowa State supporters would like to see, but they continue to set marks. First victory over a ranked opponent last year since 2016, and a victory over the classic rival Iowa last season for the first time since 2018. As mentioned before, only 2 of 11 outfield players played here in Morgantown in 2021. A 4-0 win for West Virginia in that game, but also have to include Jordan Silkowitz into that mix. And here is another Jordan. It's Wilson for West Virginia. Heredia Beltran in the box waiting for it. Header on and away. Good opportunity for the Mountaineers, 30 seconds in, but it goes awry.
Yeah, good action early on. That's why you see Wilson getting the start, trying to create something to Heredia Beltran in the middle of the box. Going to have to keep an eye on number 11 in gold, Andrew, right? You mentioned it. It's her first start. Coaches O'Brown looking for a spark up top. Maybe Wilson is the player to provide it. Although against UCF, the Mountaineers, they scored. They had a pair of goals, right? And it was really the defense that let down West Virginia against UCF. So need a complete performance this evening from WVU.
Yeah, both teams surrendering 4 goals in their first league game. Oklahoma State did it to Iowa State, and obviously UCF, the newcomers, who were obviously juiced up to play their first Big 12 game, also got it done, which is really interesting, Nick, because you look at statistics. We know Oklahoma State is able to score. That's not a secret, but UCF, fewest shots in the league and fewest shots on goal per game in the league, just pulled out some absolute gems to put 4 past West Virginia, traditionally a very good defensive team.
To me, Andrew, in this matchup, big matchup on an individual basis to watch is West Virginia's wingers against Iowa State's fullbacks. Maddie Brandt on the far side, Olivia Edwards on the near side. We mentioned Taylor White at the top of the broadcast. She's so shifty, so creative, so fast. And West Virginia has to feel that Heredia Beltran is getting ready to turn a corner this season as well. Those are the 2 players to keep an eye on up top for WVU.
Here is Taylor White. Back to Julian Valeron. Scored a penalty against UCF. Charging ahead. Space opens up for Taylor White. She'll take on her defender. Stays with it. Holds it. Rodriguez blocked. And a whiff from Loza from the 6-yard box extended. Iowa State trying to clear, and Heredia Beltran stays with it. Back to Loza, the senior. Wants to put in a cross. Over Rodriguez to Taylor White. Step ahead. White gonna let it go. And it goes high. Goal kick for the Cyclones.
Well, 2 minutes plus in, and the Mountaineers are already knocking on the door. Just look at the great footwork from White on the end line. Rodriguez maybe just a second behind it. Had the ball been delivered just maybe a little bit earlier, she gets a better look at that. But, boy, 2 good opportunities in the early goings for West Virginia.
Mountaineers get it back. White to Rodriguez. And then to Maddie Moreau. Heredia Beltran to the holding midfielder, McCutcheon. Drops it back to Mackenzie Onks. McCutcheon in her 3rd year with West Virginia. Valeron quickly into the path of Wilson. And then to Taylor White. Back post cross for Heredia Beltran. We'll keep it in along the line. Not even 5 minutes in, and West Virginia knocking on the door. Moreau back to Mackenzie Onks. Now, while West Virginia, as aggressive as they are, they're not forcing it, content to recycle if they have to. In for Loza. Defended well and put away by Iowa State.
Recycling is such a good point, Andrew, because West Virginia just needs to be patient early on. Try to establish possession and try to get better opportunities by being a little bit more patient. See right there, Heredia Beltran just turning and firing right into the box. Maybe not necessary from the corner. Patience could help the Mountaineers settle into this match.
Abigail Miller, the midfielder for Iowa State, on that initial challenge to break up the threatening ball in the box. Here's Lauren McConnell, played last here in Morgantown in 2021, actually hit the post in a 0-0 game inside of 15 minutes. In a 15 minutes where Iowa State actually was getting a really good grasp. Pratt in an onside position, so West Virginia will have possession. Yeah, Iowa State was getting the better of West Virginia, and then against the run of play, Lauren Segala, all-time appearance leader for West Virginia, who has since moved on, scored 2 goals in that game 2 years ago, and ultimately into a 4-0 West Virginia victory. And the very next year, last year, Sigala scored twice again. So the Cyclone killer not with West Virginia this season. Here is Emma, shoulder to shoulder with Mackenzie Ongst, and Emma gives away the foul. Here Emma started all 17 games last season. Had an assist last game against Oklahoma State, and as you can see there, pull on the vine.
A little bit of a tug, but Andrew, Emma is so critical to what Iowa State wants to do offensively. If the Cyclones are going to finally find a goal here in this venue that's been so unforgiving to them during the course of West Virginia's stint in the Big 12 Conference, it likely is going to involve her in some way. Going back to the point about being patient, I think Iowa State needs to have a little bit more patience as well early on here. Iowa State's midfielders and especially defenders maybe being a little bit too quick to make passes, and that's led to some turnovers in the early goings. Against this West Virginia team on a big field with a lot of speedsters, have to really know when to pick your pockets and make progress up the field.
Yeah, well said. Mountaineers so aggressive when they're into their game. But here's Iowa State pressing West Virginia, something that the Mountaineers have struggled with at points this season. Miller comes across again to knock the ball away. And we'll see if Iowa State presses on the gas pedal once again as Annika Leslie, start here for West Virginia, drops it back to Keiza Massey. Massey, who allowed 1 goal or fewer 17 times last season, has conceded a few times this year, 12 to be exact, while making 24 saves. So I'm going to turn that into a fraction or a proportion. 1 goal allowed for every 2 saves made. Would love to see that differential improved, to say the least. Good turn from White. Good step, though, from Iowa State to force it out. That was Hannah Reed, the senior defender from Eagle Mountain, Utah. Mainstay back there for the Cyclones. He's played the full 90, 7 times so far this year. This is the 10th game for both squads. I said it's early on in the season, definitely early on in conference play. But actually, when you look at the schedule, it's almost exactly at the halfway point. Valeron. Defended again by Hannah Reed. And back to Gillihan. Good distribution. This is McConnell. Moreau, the outside back pressing. Giveaway. White approaches it and lays it off to Heredia Beltran. Ball in and touched out and put out for a corner kick. Initially, Broughton. And then the extra touch means a West Virginia set piece.
Smart defending by Broughton. Good positioning, right where she needed to be and exactly where she needed to be. And for West Virginia here, these set pieces could be critical. I think, Andrew, for Iowa State, have to defend corner kicks well in this match.
Big question of Avery Gillihan at this point, the redshirt freshman between the pipes for the Cyclones. Corner kick in, headed towards the back post. Valeron's there. Bouncing, Rodriguez trying to get to it for West Virginia. Pratt got the touch. It's put back in by McCutcheon. Wilson surrounded. Lays it off for Heredia Beltran. Here's a pop fly. Gillihan punches it away. And Iowa State looking to clear, but it falls to Loza. And then to Valeron, trying to fizz one back in. This is Rodriguez. Had it tackled away from her by Emma. And here's a potential counter for Iowa State. This is Salome Pratt. Moreau. One-on-one now with Pratt. Trying to lay it off, and West Virginia collapses on the intended target of Lauren McConnell, the junior. Wilson into space for Heredia Beltran, just too far on it. Almost played 10 minutes here in Morgantown. West Virginia getting the better of Iowa State. Nothing to show for it yet. No surprise that the Mountaineers starting strong here at home.
3 shots already in the first 10 minutes. Mountaineers have really had the bulk of the possession as well.
This is a good inquisitive ball for Pratt. Down goes Leslie. Pratt stays with it. Gonna cut it back here. Hernandez for Emma. Put in by Iowa State. They get a bounce, but it's away from Campana. Edge of the box, defended by Valeron. Back to Hernandez. In the box, pushed away by Ongst. Cleared by Rodriguez. But it's Iowa State again. Lifted ball over the top. Good aggressive header from Ongst. Here's Moreau. Good pressure from McConnell. Takes a West Virginia bounce. Mountaineers stay with it, and a pull of the jersey means a West Virginia free kick.
Solid defending from Ongst, called upon a couple of times there for West Virginia. She's had to make the change from fullback to center back this season for Nikki Izzo Brown's team to replace Gabrielle Robinson and Jordan Brewster, a couple of center backs from last year's Big 12 championship team that went on to be professionals. She has really been a joy to watch in her final season now at WVU, but over the past several years has just been really, really steady for WVU, whether it's in that right back slot or at center back now.
And one of the few years this year actually able to play a conventional full season. Knock on wood that she can stay healthy. Had some knee injuries 2 years ago. Knocked her out after 8 games in 2021. And then last season was still in the process of getting back up to speed. We saw her in a substitute role, but now is back on that back line, which comes with an expectation for West Virginia women's soccer.
Think about how many terrific center backs there have been that have gone on to play professionally. We mentioned Brewster and Robinson a moment ago. Bianca St. George playing professionally now, and then you don't have to think too much farther. What was her name? Kadisha Buchanan,
yes.
Right? Yeah, she was decent, I guess, right? You get Kadisha Buchanan and Ashley Lawrence, 2 Canadian internationals, linked back up together at Chelsea. Their season starts in a couple of weeks, beginning of October. So awesome to see Buchanan and Lawrence back together in a different shade of blue across the pond. It's going to be something really cool to keep an eye on if you're a WVU fan.
Yeah, and it is worth mentioning that West Virginia has had so much talent in that position. You go from 13 to 16. You had Kadisha Buchanan back there, which is good enough basically for 2 defenders as one. Carly Black, though, did an excellent job as the pairing with Kadisha Buchanan. And then 4 straight years from 19 to 22, you had Gabby Robinson and Jordan Brewster as most of the pairing the entire time. Gabby Robinson became the starting center back due to injury issues. Jordan Brewster always starting, even as a freshman, but to maintain that level of consistency, it is a rebuilding point, to say the least, for West Virginia. But Annika Leslie has been in the system now in her 3rd year. Mackenzie Ongst, obviously very familiar. As the game has leveled out a bit. Good turn and forward passing by the Cyclones. This is McConnell, who played just 11 minutes against Oklahoma State, but she's in the starting lineup tonight for the Cyclones. Hernandez has looked good. Lays it off to Campana. Trying to go for McConnell. Closed off by Moreau in the giveaway for Heredia Beltran. Taylor White in a central position for West Virginia. Chased down from behind, but a foul given away by Abigail Miller, the senior, an Arkansas State transfer. Thought it was clean. We'll see it again.
Regardless, not a bad foul to give away there. West Virginia had a 3-on-3 opportunity. It's a professional foul. And maybe not too much contact there from Miller, but whistle nonetheless to stop the action.
Scoreless so far through 14 minutes here in Morgantown. Both teams searching for a first Big 12 victory on the season in an expanded league. We'll have our first substitution of the game. And this will be Leah Carey getting the opportunity to come on for McConnell, who, much like in that Oklahoma State game, just gets a very brief, what it would seem, 14 or so minutes, and then is replaced.
Andrew, you mentioned this a moment ago. Really impressed in the way that Iowa State has settled into this match. First 3-4 minutes, West Virginia had the bulk of the possession in the attacking third. It seemed like the Mountaineers were just bound to get one in the early goings of this match, but Iowa State has settled into the contest, really grown into it, and has had more possession of the ball, hasn't really had a clear chance on goal yet, but maybe it's coming. And it's interesting to see, too, the press from Iowa State, not afraid to attack these Mountaineers. Normally, at Dick Dalesk Stadium on this big, wide pitch, it's the Mountaineers, the team doing the pressing. Iowa State definitely has the right mentality coming into this one.
And with that being said, Iowa State has to maintain their shape even when they are forcing the issue. They've conceded 7 goals in the last 2 games, 4 to Oklahoma State, and a 4-1 loss to Open League play, and then 3-0 to Kentucky in the prior game. For West Virginia, 4-2 loss at UCF in Orlando, 0-0 draw against Villanova 2 games ago here in Morgantown to close out the non-conference portion of their schedule.
Andrew, I was chatting with Iowa State head coach Matt Fannin before the match, and I asked him, how do you attack this West Virginia team? He said it's not about tactics, it's about mentality.
Yeah.
That this team has recognized and acknowledged the history of this matchup, that Iowa State has never beaten WVU, Iowa State has not scored against WVU in a decade, and that the Mountaineers are coming off a Big 12 tournament championship. He addressed all of those things with his players and was open with them about this matchup, saying, look, we recognize the history. We have to feel that we can come into this place and play our game on the road and go toe-to-toe with a giant in West Virginia. And so far, the Cyclones have risen to that challenge. It's a question of can they do it for a complete 90 minutes.
Well said, as we see the series history on the screen right there. Morgantown has enjoyed games in Morgantown. That's a good bit, Nick, because it is going to take an elite mentality. For Mountaineer fans watching this game, words of head coach for the football program, Neil Brown, it's whether you want to have faith or whether you want to have fear. Similar concepts.
Funny that you should bring up American football. Fannin, who, by the way, comes to us from across the pond, right? And even though he does have a connection to Davison Elkins here in West Virginia, he asked about the backyard brawl, asked about the atmosphere. Man, what a night. Mm-hmm. That was a ton of fun if you're a West Virginia fan.
Jack Trice, similar looking to Milan Puskar Stadium, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right. That's right.
Same architect, or at least same template.
Have you been to Jack Trice Stadium?
I have not.
So I have, and they really are similar. I can, when you're on the concourse especially, you can definitely see the similarities.
Mm-hmm.
And both fan bases also have an affinity for the song Sweet Caroline, so it is a little bit fitting.
Well, and then the whole story during baseball season where Iowa State softball and West Virginia baseball, closer than you might think. Blue and gold, red and gold. Here is Emma for Iowa State. Rodriguez closes in quickly. Leslie steps up. Good, powerful turn by Campana into the path of Pratt on the outside. Valeron comes back. Pratt cuts inside, lets it go, and an easy save for Keiza Massey. Yeah, good move, just no end product. Massey not troubled.
But that is the product of better possession and build-up play from Iowa State. Pratt with a right-footed shot between 2 defenders just really didn't put enough mustard on it. Tough to do that between 2 West Virginia defenders. But again, West Virginia had the bulk of the possession early, a bulk of the chances early. Now things are starting to tip the other way because Iowa State has grown into this contest.
Pratt, a great pickup from High Point for Iowa State, originally from Tarbes, France. Played in the Toulouse Academy. And leads Iowa State in shots with 17. She's got the green light, and you can see why. Shows the skill to create her own shot, and with better placement, Iowa State does have the goal that they have been craving. A little more on the Cyclones. Mentioned before, first Big 12 win since 2021. It has been that long. They can get shots on net, but gotta beat the keeper. As you can imagine, for a team that has struggled to come away with W's in conference play, they were picked to finish 14th in the Big 12 this year. Picked to finish 8th back in 2021, the last time they were in Morgantown, which was 2 spots from the bottom. 14 obviously is the basement this year. Loza for West Virginia. Outside Taylor White. She'll have to chase that down towards the corner flag. Almost 20 minutes gone here. What can White do? Powerful first step. She goes down on the sliding challenge that results in a West Virginia corner kick. Good defending by Maddie Brandt, senior from Maidstone, England. Yep, got after it. So Leslie to take the corner for the Mountaineers. The center back can use that left foot with precision. 25 minutes and counting here in Morgantown. Andrew Caridi, Nick Farrell with you on ESPN+. Leslie, hand up. Ball in. It's a good one. Back post punched away by Gillihan. And it should be another West Virginia corner, and it is. Well, that's the fine line of aggressive but also in control from the underclassmen in net.
Redshirt freshman staying composed in the midst of a trio of gold jerseys there and some of her own teammates to get a punch to it. But again, these corner kicks seem so important for Iowa State defensively. Cannot let your guard down, cannot have momentary lapse of judgment on one of these corners to allow West Virginia to get in front.
Different look here for West Virginia. Players collecting at the far side of the box. This one in from Heredia Beltran. Towards the back post and even off the crossbar. Valoran got to it first, and it's pushed away by Iowa State. Nearly an Olympico. Whether it was intentional or not.
A great ball from Heredia Beltran. Just off the top of the crossbar. Moreau was in the vicinity on the back post. It would have been a tough ask of the 5'2", fifth-year defender, but still a great ball from the corner flag. West Virginia definitely asking questions from those set pieces.
Well, aggressive look here for Iowa State on the counter goes awry. And we'll get another substitution for the Cyclones. Ella Cardulo will replace Salome Pratt for the final 23 minutes. Pratt goes for a seat, gets a breather.
Thought Pratt's done a great job on the far flank for Iowa State. Had a shot on goal, which is the only one so far in this game.
Yeah. Massey restarts with just under 23 to go. We were that close to a corner kick goal. Actually, Annika Leslie, who took the previous corner, had one last year against Baylor. Happens more than you think. We can have the conversation to say that quality of goals scored just in general this season in college soccer seems to be of exponential quality as opposed to maybe a few years gone by. Game has grown in skill, grown in speed. And the Big 12, especially for women's soccer, will seem to be, you know, not that it wasn't already, but one of the premier leagues in the country. You know, I added some great programs this year, especially BYU, who was #1 in the country a few weeks ago. UCF has found itself in the national rankings as well. Texas, I mean,
right,
TCU.
That's right. West Virginia learned pretty quickly about just how tough it is to go to Orlando and win a conference soccer match at UCF. I think, 6 Big 12 players in the Women's World Cup a couple of months ago. One of them, Julia Grosso, former Texas player who now plays for the Juventus women's squad. And we already mentioned Nikki Izzo-Brown's tandem from the 2016 College Cup final, Ashley Lawrence and Kadisha Buchanan playing for Team Canada. They won an Olympic gold medal just a couple of years ago. A lot of Big 12 involvement, not just in that World Cup, but in the Olympics a few years ago as well.
Yep. Ongst misfires on the pass, gets a second opportunity, and captured by Iowa State. This is Hernandez. Sophomore has been involved. Scored against Iowa back in August. Keep that for your pocketbook once the career's over. Scored in that game. Gonna last forever. Leslie to Moreau, press coming. Down line for Loza. And opts for the conservative play. No surprise that Hernandez has looked good. She's 14 in white. sitting a little bit back for Iowa State, saw the most minutes for any freshman last year for this Iowa State team. So again, if you're just joining us, almost brand new in terms of personnel here in Morgantown compared to the 2021 team, with the exception of 2 outfield players. McConnell, Emma, and then it was Jordan Silkowitz in goal for the Cyclones back in 21. Now playing professionally, Taylor White has looked good for West Virginia. Here she comes in the box. Head up, cross goes in. Wilson got the inside of the foot on it, but couldn't direct it on the goal. Less than 20 to go, West Virginia with its best opportunity in a few minutes.
White's done a terrific job on that far side wing. She is so explosive, can really attack defenders, and is going to give a long night to Maddie Brandt, the left back for Iowa State. Right now, though, West Virginia has just lacked that finishing touch in the box. Has had some good chances, but the Mountaineers still have not put a shot on target yet to test goalkeeper Avery Gillihan. Feels like it might be coming, though.
Emma giving chase to Moreau. He plays a nice ball to Taylor White. Mountaineers have not made a substitution yet, but as I say that, final game plan and game notes being distributed to Jada Bedoya, winger for the Mountaineers, and Aria Bilal, who will look to come in. Advantage play to Iowa State. Cardullo had it taken off of her by Loza, who plays with an edge. Heredia Beltran back to Loza. And handled well enough by Brandt. Miller. Emma. Space outside. Cardullo, the sophomore, in the box. One-on-one with Moreau. And cleared by Loza. Ends up being a slow roller to Heredia Beltran, allowing Iowa State to collapse on the West Virginia breakout. Cyclones keep it in. Moreau puts it out. Back into Emma. Iowa State looking across. Ball in. Ongst heads away powerfully. Scuffed by Loza. Into the path of Wilson. Good first step forward. Taylor White in front of her. And Wilson over to Heredia Beltran. Warren Jordan Wilson had a goal and an assist against St. Francis in a record-setting performance by the Mountaineers back in Game 2 of the season, all the way back on August 20th, which is a month and day exactly removed. Wilson cut inside, blasted one near post. This is her first career start in her 10th career game. The Kansas native. Taylor White was crying out for the ball from McCutcheon. Not sure the path was there. Heredia Beltran tries to cut inside. Oh, strong tackle and the foul given away by Iowa State. Obviously some frustration there. A couple of 18s. It was Edwards, the senior, in on Heredia Beltran, but a prime set piece opportunity, as there is the second challenge in, which was right in the back of the knee.
Yeah, just a little bit too much from Edwards there. She had it at first. The first tackle was clean. The second one unnecessary. And I'll say it again, Andrew. I think these set pieces are so important for Iowa State. Cannot afford to have a lapse of judgment. Got to mark up. Got to stay marked on these types of situations.
So Leslie will take it with the left and get it to swing in. Ball in, back post. Valeron's there. Drops down to Taylor White. Kick save off the line. What a stop from Gillihan and cleared. There's the shot on goal for West Virginia, and there's the big save for the redshirt freshman. Mountaineers still staying with it. And this one will roll out of play, and Iowa State can take a deep breath. Big stop from Gillihan.
Well, Valeron, I think, is the player who gets free in the box here on the service. Gets ahead to it. White just finds herself in the middle of a quartet of white jerseys. But, boy, that save from Gillihan. It doesn't matter that White got free and was unmarked. She erases everything with the inside of her right leg. One more time. This is a tremendous save from the redshirt freshman. Keeps it scoreless in the early goings and robs Taylor White of what would be her 5th goal of the season. Terrific play.
4 changes for West Virginia. Rodriguez, Leslie Wilson, and Heredia Beltran all coming off. Meanwhile, for Iowa State, Kristen Booth has come on. West Virginia has sent out Chloe Adler, Jada Bedoya, Lily McCarthy, Aria Bilal, and Naima Ingleton. That's practically a line change for West Virginia. I think I actually missed one more that came off just because. And meanwhile, we've got an injured Mountaineer down. I believe that's Julian Valeron. So clock stops with 14:35 to go. Valeron seems to be in a significant amount of pain. Yep. Took a knee right on the spot. Contact injury is better to stay down on than a non-contact injury. And Valeron is as tough as they come. 2 brothers. I just got to shake it off.
What a terrific player she's been over the course of her West Virginia career. Andrew has been a shapeshifter in the sense that she's played just about every outfield position except goalie. Maybe she hasn't played center back. I can't recall that either, but she has played just about everywhere else. Plays that right back position so well, but has also been a threat in the attack as a winger or even centrally. Has just been really fun to watch and has been so critical to West Virginia's success over the past few seasons.
Yeah, I would say 8 of the 11 positions, with the exception of center back, holding midfielder, and goalkeeper.
Although I'm sure that on the training ground, Andrew, she probably would take a crack at goalkeeper every once in a while.
Give her a shot.
I think she just seems to me like the type of player. Sometimes, man, you need to just have that gritty mentality even to be a goalkeeper. Sometimes goalkeepers are players you don't want to mess with, right? Valeron is the type of player that you don't want to mess with at right back.
Meanwhile, a few hundred feet across from us at the WVU Coliseum, Iowa State up 21-17 on West Virginia. That is in the 3rd set. Iowa State up 2-0. Nationally ranked Cyclones and Mountaineers go again tomorrow here on ESPN+. You mentioned Valeron. She is here for her 5th year, 64th start tonight, 71st career appearance. It's away from Bedoya and will belong with Iowa State. 16 goals, 6 assists. I should say 16 goals for an outside back. Well, she played as the central attacker a few years ago. Campana staying with it for Iowa State. Ongst comes in with assistance. Campana still surrounded. Swings one in. Ingleton pressured, staying composed, and will blast it out of there. Adler trying to get to it for West Virginia. Gets a piece of it. A long stride of Miller. Able to reach it first. 13 minutes to go. First half here in Morgantown. No score, West Virginia and Iowa State.
To me, Andrew, the moment of the game so far is that tremendous save by Gillihan on the free kick for West Virginia. That really is the reason why this game is still scoreless. Both of these teams have had chances. West Virginia, the better of them. But, boy, that play by Gillihan is the type of thing that potentially not just keeps you in a ball game, but we were talking about mentality earlier on, right? West Virginia scores a goal there, heads go down, and maybe this becomes a much harder task for Iowa State. A play like that is the type of play that invigorates a side that's an underdog and gives you the type of boost that you might need to get a result at Dick Dalesk Stadium.
Yeah, well said, well said. Put away by Iowa State, so a throw in for West Virginia in the defensive third for the Cyclones. Gillihan, though, has been busy this season, facing double-digit shots in 6 of 9 games this year. Faced 21 against Memphis, made 8 saves in that game despite losing 4-1. So certainly has a sample size, or at least a criteria of what to expect at this level as the starting keeper for Iowa State. Here's Aria Bilal. All working ahead and seems to be content to take the roll because it's off of a Cyclone. Another corner for West Virginia coming up. Mountaineers, as Nick has said, with the best looks from this position all game.
Maybe a little more size in there right now, too, for WVU. You've got Adler inside the 6, Bilal inside the 18.
McCarthy, the senior, puts it in. It falls to Bedoya, cuts it back, takes a deflection, and right to Gillihan. Fourth corner of the game for the Mountaineers. Iowa State has not had one yet. Shots 4-1. West Virginia, both teams with one on goal apiece. Sun is completely set. Ends up being a really cool night here in Morgantown, which we'll take. McCarthy trying to get a piece of it, defended well by Reed. 69 degrees, 65% humidity. Just right. It could have fooled me, actually. It doesn't feel like 65 for humidity. Ball into Adler. Gillihan ends up making the right choice.
Good run there by Adler to give herself a chance on the long ball. West Virginia has had its best chances from dead ball situations, but really its wing play has been really, really solid so far tonight.
10 to go here in the first half. Will we have a breakthrough? Bedoya, crafty there. Loza ran into trouble, fights for it back and gets it back. Bedoya goes down. Free kick West Virginia.
Well earned there by Bedoya. A well-earned foul to get possession, keep and maintain possession for West Virginia.
Another substitution preparing to come on. You see at the bottom of the screen, that is Sophia Thomas, sophomore. So Moreau to take it. Gonna drive that one into Bedoya. Steps inside. Great space for herself. Wanted to have a rip. Takes a deflection right to Gillihan.
I'm all for trying it, Andrew, but there were definitely better options there. You had Bilal on the far side. And I think that, again, at times tonight, West Virginia has just been a little bit impatient when it has had some good spells of possession where if you make another pass, if you give your teammate another look, maybe a little bit something better would develop.
Mountaineers trying to attack from that left side. It's pushed away by Edwards for Iowa State. 8:20 to go until halftime. We'll try and get head coach Nikki Izzo-Brown at the break for West Virginia. And McCutcheon goes sliding in. Pass goes awry. Here come the Cyclones, and Massey has to push it over the crossbar. It was Carey challenging the West Virginia keeper, and Massey just close enough in her positioning to keep that out.
Well, a good read here by Leah Carey to notice that Massey was off her line. Massey, top goalkeeper in the Big 12, acrobatic save. One more time, look at how far out Carey is to try a rip with her left foot.
Great heads-up play from the junior. Had a goal against Iowa State her last time out. That close. First corner for Iowa State. Skimming header at the 18. Bilal in a full sprint captures it. Has Adler to her right. It gets to her. Adler plays the ball to Bilal. Good positioning by Reed. Iowa State still with work to do, and they do that work. At least for now. McCutcheon wins it back for West Virginia. Good escapability from Aria Bilal. Reed closes in on her. Down goes Bilal. And up come the Cyclones as Bilal stays down. Mountaineers can handle this. Angleton will skip it over to Maddie Moreau. Can use both feet. Bedoya. Give and go there with Loza. Cyclones have it. Tempo on an uptick with 6.5 to play in the first half. Any observations on Iowa State's approach offensively as time has gone on? Seems that they're looking for that longer pass instead of the methodical approach.
It seems that the Cyclones are going to be content to try to generate some counterattack opportunities, Andrew, which really two good chances have come from those types of counterattacks. So I do think that the Cyclones, when they have possession, they have to savor it. They have to treat it with care, because this West Virginia team can also counter effectively with its incredibly fast wings. And you saw a moment ago that touch from Aria Bilal on the wrong end of the field, I guess, far away from goal. But West Virginia's wingers have just been so impressive tonight when they get the ball in space or even in tight spaces to try to make something happen.
Substitutions for both teams. It is Gabby Lamparty coming on for West Virginia in the midfield, replacing Isabel Loza. And Sophia Thomas comes on for Miller. There's Lamparty winning that header, at least ostensibly. Skying ball into the air. McCarthy trying to touch it down. Back pass instead for Gillihan. Under 5 to go. Well, Gillihan has had the opportunity to settle into this game. Can't say as much for Kaysa Massey, but that is more the case than not. As West Virginia, especially at home, with the lion's share of possession. Adler, senior, trying to play that down the line. Ends up taking a Cyclone bounce. McCutcheon steps up. Ends up redirecting back to the Cyclones. Here's Edwards. Defended by Bedoya. Bounce comes back to Hernandez. Punched out by Ingleton. 4 minutes and 5 seconds to go. Half number 1 here in Morgantown. Cyclones looking aggressive. Ball sent in, back post. It's by everybody but Julian Valeron. Bilal trying to stick with it. Draws the foul. Chloe Broughton, the guilty party, as Matt Fannin dissents. A physical game so far.
Definitely so, though Iowa State is the team that's done the bulk of the fouling with 7 fouls. West Virginia has yet to commit a foul. There's another one there. That might be a yellow card.
On Ingleton, fouled by Cardulo. And the card is shown. Brian Miller, our referee, shows the first yellow of the game. Yeah, just too rough and tumble from the substitute Cardulo. Playing in her 7th game of the year.
So with about 3.5 minutes left until halftime, West Virginia want to see West Virginia possess the ball well, try to get one last good opportunity to test Gillihan.
And another foul, this time on Hernandez. And incensed is the entire bench this time, not just the coaching staff.
So some of WVU's best moments tonight have come off dead balls, but the others have come from live possession have been when West Virginia possessed the ball and methodically built up from the back. Want to see if there's maybe one more of those left in the tank before halftime.
Too far from Lamparty from Moreau. Iowa State can take it with 2:40 left. Corey Richardson, our assistant referee. Ross Kleinstuber and Jeffrey Mellon. Ingleton, who came on for Annika Leslie, skies this out. You know, I think when we had that shot of the Iowa State coaching staff, they were watching our stream, so the stream was on the stream.
That is interesting. I can see it right here. Looks like they've got a tablet just to our left. Andrew, you'd be surprised how many coaches around college soccer watch these broadcasts. Think about how many of them critique our work. That's kind of a scary thought.
They'd probably watch it for the game film.
Well,
just
I'm saying broadcast copies, right? Maybe they aren't listening to the announcers.
Yeah, there we are.
Yep, there it is. Hi, Mom.
1:50 to go. Final sub for Iowa State as Edwards comes off. Agruso has come on, sophomore defender from Clinton Township, Michigan. Bedoya into traffic for the Mountaineers. Turn by Tui, who's also come on. Lily Tui from Fishers, Indiana, the freshman midfielder. 1:15 to go. McCutcheon has her arm dragged by Tui. And might see another card here. Yeah, second yellow of the game against a Cyclone.
Yeah, Matt Fannin is not too pleased with that. I think that the issue for the referee is that this same foul has been happening too often, and players are being told not to continue doing that. Coach Fannin, though, wondering why that type of foul is worthy of a caution. I think his argument is the one foul previously is a yellow card. If it's a slide tackle that's late, that one is maybe not as egregious.
Solid point, but it is under the referee's discretion. And at this point of the game, you got to get control of it and set the precedent.
True, and the stat sheet does show that Iowa State has been fouling substantially more than West Virginia. Mountaineers have not committed a foul.
True. Which also might lend itself to Iowa State's argument.
True, true.
Valeron over the top for Bilal. Getting to it first is Reed. Almost into the seats with 40 seconds to go.
What a peacemaker you are, Andrew. You just see both sides of the argument, you know?
I'll try and be an objective broadcaster at all costs. McCarthy in and headed clear. Less than 30 to go. McCarthy steps into it and see if she can fight it back. Can't. Good and better play by Thomas. Final attack of the half, likely for either team. Skied switch. Outside for Cardulo. Not much help in the box. Going to slice it off the head of Ingleton. And that volley dribbles down inside the West Virginia area. First 45 in the books. West Virginia and Iowa State 0-0 through the opportunity from Carey. And she showed up. So, West Virginia side, it is the same 11 as started the first half. And we are back underway.
One observation from the first half, Andrew, is that during the first 5 minutes, Iowa State struggled to settle into the game, and West Virginia was there right away. The Cyclones can't afford to have that same thing happen out of the locker room.
Well, they get it right back here, and they're going to appeal for a corner, and they get it. Rush from Carey, who starts this second half for Iowa State, taking Ongst to the end line, wins the set-piece opportunity. Takes the deflection off of the attacking step from the West Virginia super senior, Mackenzie Ongst. Edwards will take it. Mainstay on the back line for Iowa State. She's played 90 minutes 5 times. Had a big 70 minutes against Oklahoma State last time out. A corner in from the Cyclones. And it's a poor one, but it comes back out, and Keza Massey can grasp that one from Tui. Moreau, stretching pass, gets by everybody, and Gillihan backing up, has to step to it and just put it to the side. Slight lack of communication, Iowa State not forced to pay for it. Moreau recovers.
Andrew, noticed that most of West Virginia's starters are back into the match. In fact, all of West Virginia's starters from the first half are back in. So that means Taylor White, the explosive right winger, Delari Heredia Beltran, the crafty left winger, back in. They gave Iowa State some problems in the first 15 minutes of the first half.
As Mackenzie Ongst making a forward run from her center back position to try and create that extra look. It's punched out by Maddie Brandt for a West Virginia throw. No reason to think that this second 45 will be any less intense than the first. This game means so much, Nick. We were speaking momentarily as Valeron is fouled. Drag of the leg. by Miller will win West Virginia a free kick. And we'll see it again. Just drag that foot. The 10 teams qualified for the Big 12 tournament this year. Instead of the 8 of 10, it is now 10 of 14.
And that's what makes the 3 points up for grabs tonight so important, Andrew, because both of these teams started out Big 12 play without a result. West Virginia going to UCF on the road, losing 4-2. 3 points here tonight, so crucial when you think about how in just about a month plus, a couple of teams are going to be left sitting at home while 10 go to compete for the title.
The tournament again in Round Rock is Rodriguez snaking her way forward. Almost completed that pass to Valeron.
Yeah, good idea with Valeron overlapping. Just didn't come off.
Ongst stays in an attacking position. This is Taylor White for West Virginia, defended well by Sophia Thomas. Can Iowa State break? Well, for the moment, yes. And they will recycle. You know who's going to be in Round Rock, right? Joe Mock.
Oh, yeah?
Joe Mock will be in Round Rock. Throw in for West Virginia. Big supporter of West Virginia athletics. Got to give him a shout.
One last thought on the Big 12 tournament. With 10 teams, that adds an interesting dynamic to me to the tournament. Because what does it mean for those play-in teams, right? You got to play an extra game. And I know that the format is going to be similar to the Big 12 men's basketball tournament from past years. Can one of those teams realistically go 4 for 4 to make a huge run? I mean, that is just such a tough ask, just as it is in men's basketball with such short turnarounds to try to make that run. But it'll be interesting to see if one of those teams that gets in there and maybe wouldn't have in previous years could make some noise in the tournament in Round Rock.
Yeah, well said. So seeds 7 through 10, bottom 4 teams to qualify do play that extra game. And then 6 to 1 get the, I guess you could call it an automatic qualification in a way. The tackle by Valeron. And Taylor White can turn off of her defender. And has green grass in front of her. And switch is behind Heredia Beltran.
West Virginia was what, Andrew? Five seed last year to win the Big 12 tournament? Man, what an exciting tournament run that was for the Mountaineers. Goal of a lifetime for Jordan Brewster, right? I mean, she's playing professionally now in Europe. She may score some more goals. I don't think she'll ever score one as memorable.
Yeah, well said. Oh, keep your head on the swivel there. But it's an interesting point because West Virginia was safely in the NCAA tournament, even had they not gone on the run that they did, which resulted in an automatic qualification with the tournament championship. Obviously added a little bit in terms of their seeding, got to host an opening round or second round against Virginia Tech here at home, which was also important. You just look at the standings right now in the Big 12. It's just so strange to see 14 teams now instead of the, however many you were used to. 10. Here's Taylor White. Gets around one. Heredia Beltran in the box. At the top of it now for Loza. Lets it fly! Above the crossbar for an Iowa State goal kick.
But again, on display is the creativeness and craftiness of Taylor White. The dribble and the vision to find the open teammate at the top of the box for the shot. Loza with a good attempt just over the crossbar. Really want to see West Virginia try to test Gillihan more. She made the terrific save on the corner kick in the first half. And really since then, West Virginia, I'm not even sure, has had another shot on target since then, Andrew. Mountaineers, when they have those opportunities, have to get shots on target to test the keeper.
Here come the Cyclones. Campana. Right into the flag by Leslie. Throw stays with Iowa State. Played back to Gillihan here. Got all of it. Well placed, too, but Moreau gives away the foul.
First foul committed by West Virginia, too. Gone nearly an hour without one. Game has been physical, but up to this point, West Virginia has played a clean physical game.
A little too far to be truly dangerous for the Cyclones, but anything can happen. All put in, it's decent. But muscled out by Moreau, who just gave away the foul. Lifted back in. Ongst pops it up. Valeron fouled on the back end by Carey. And just a slight undercut. And Leslie plays Massey. Almost played 9 minutes here in half number 2. And just a slight lack of touch there for Valeron. Depth will continue to be a factor as we move through this game. Not so much in half number 1, due to the fact that you can only substitute obviously one time. Can't re-enter in the first half, but now you can play with lineups. You can get who you want out there, get people breathers, do what you need to do. But Iowa State is a team that also can cycle in 6, 7, 8 players, need be. Misplay. Rodriguez fouled by Thomas. Smart foul.
Yeah, I think it's a professional foul by Thomas there because Rodriguez had a step on her and might have been off to set up Taylor White, who was open on the flank on this near side.
If there's anybody that knows about the professional foul, it is Serie A fan. Nick Farrell.
Everyone has a problem with Serie A. I don't understand it.
I got no problem with it.
They think Italians like to flop or something? Is that what it is? Italians
yeah.
embellish? Is that what it is?
I do.
It's not just them. It's not just the Italian league.
Valeron to White. Good sliding tackle. Getting the ball cleanly was Hannah Reed.
Man, and she had to get that just right because it's right on the corner of the penalty box. In fact, contact might have been made on the line right there. Really solid tackle by the center back, Reed.
Loza, the long overlap to Moreau, hustling to get there, put out instead by Iowa State. So we'll see that aggressive play. Yeah, studs up, but ball got. It's a quality tackle. In from Reed.
Replay shows she got it cleanly, Andrew. I mean, it's a dangerous challenge for sure. And there's another one there. That one is not clean from Reed. And in fact, A.J. Rodriguez asking the referee for a yellow card there. Regardless, this is a great spot for West Virginia and an opportunity to ask another question from a set piece. One more look at the foul. Reed brings her down from the shoulder. West Virginia's best opportunities have come from dead ball situations in this match. 3 corner kicks and another short corner situation, if you will, from set pieces where West Virginia has just been knocking on the door. Got everybody up here for this one as it looks like Rodriguez will take it.
Rodriguez, who was fouled, looked to put a touch of finesse on this one. Biggest set piece opportunity of half number 2. They'll play it short. Heredia Beltran cuts it across, well defended by Iowa State. Lifted back in, off the crossbar again. The second opportunity falls. It's Loza, it's deflected, and it's out for a West Virginia corner. A second crossbar caught by the Mountaineers, Heredia Beltran.
This is directly off the training ground for Nikki Izzo Brown's side. Heredia Beltran had an opportunity to just fire one. The Cyclones able to recover. Loza with an opportunity as well on the left foot. Another promising set piece from West Virginia. You just have a feeling that if more of those come, either from the corner flag or from other dead ball situations, that West Virginia eventually is going to get one.
Loza is short. Heredia Beltran on the corner duty. Puts it in. Gillihan captures it. And plays her position well yet again.
Maybe hasn't been called into action too much, Avery Gillihan, but every time that she has been called upon, she's been up to the task. 4 saves for Iowa State's redshirt freshman goalkeeper. Really has been the brightest player for the Cyclones tonight.
Well, if you told Coach Fannin that your best player so far through about 65 minutes, say that best player is going to be your keeper, he probably takes that. Moreau with a giveaway, but a poor touch from Carey. It's Valeron. Full steam ahead, lets it fly! What a stop by Gillihan! It might have touched the crossbar. Valeron with 16 goals in her career, nearly got 17.
Well, we said that West Virginia has to test the goalkeeper in the second half. And that's a test that Gillihan passes literally with flying colors. Look at that tremendous save. That one was headed for the top right corner, and Gillihan is there to parry it away. Tremendous stuff.
Fans here at Dick Dalesk Stadium can smell a goal. Big stop off the hands, off the post. It stays 0-0 for now. Corner in from Leslie. This is a near post opportunity that bounces off of a Cyclone, it would seem. No official call yet, whether we've got a corner or a goal kick, but West Virginia set up to take one. Ryan Miller issuing instructions at the goal line to keep it clean. Another corner for West Virginia. This will be the 8th. And again, Gillihan got a piece of it. And Iowa State blasts it away from the danger zone. McCutcheon, Carey. Another foul on Carey as McCutcheon goes down.
Well, one more look, Andrew, at this service from Heredia Beltran. Another solid punch by Gillihan. But again, the best service of the night for West Virginia has come from Heredia Beltran, the sophomore from Kansas.
Kept in by Iowa State. Given right back. And missiled away. West Virginia wanted a handball there. Do not get the call on Broughton.
I think the Cyclones need to have some possession here. West Virginia has spent a lot of time over the last 15 minutes. Look out here.
Taylor White got a piece of it. Not going to be able to keep it in, though.
It just feels like everything about this match is shifting in West Virginia's favor. It's not too late for Iowa State to change that. But for as well as Gillihan has played tonight, that is the type of mistake that can cost you in a match that's level. Maybe Cyclones are just a little bit fortunate in that situation that ball trickles out of bounds.
Well, Pratt comes in for Carey. And Mira Emma, who we featured on the ball right now, comes back into the game. Those two started for Iowa State to begin the game. Another giveaway here. Heredia Beltran gets it back. This is Isabel Loza. Loza in the box, looking for space to cross. Put out well by Iowa State. But something's got to give for West Virginia. That's the hope, at least, for their sideline and for the fans here in Morgantown.
For Nikki Izzo-Brown's side, have to just continue to attack. It's clear that the Cyclones are having trouble with possessing the ball at this moment. West Virginia needs to try to exploit that. Continue to press, continue to keep the ball in this third of the pitch, and maybe one is finally going to come.
Heredia Beltran to take again. Is this the moment for the Mountaineers? Puts it in. Back post, bouncing by Valeron. Wilson the target, short. They play her. Back to Valeron. Space to cross. And headed away cleanly. Pratt. After it, McCutcheon. Great closing speed. Drops it back to Ongst. Her center back, Rodriguez to Leslie. Moreau's got it. Off the West Virginia bounce, Maddie Moreau. Heredia Beltran, saved by Gillihan. A+ chance, another good save.
Well worked by West Virginia here, and a terrific run by Heredia Beltran to get into the open space at the top of the 18. It's a tough shot. She's falling away from it, tries to go back post on her right foot. Just not far enough away from Gillihan, who had good positioning to hold on to it.
Gillihan's 7th save of the game.
Once again, Andrew, it just seems like West Virginia smells blood at this point, right? But the killer instinct in that final third has just been lacking a little bit. Need that moment of brilliance from somebody just to get one across the end line.
And drop back to Gillihan. How many times have we said her name?
She has been active in this second half. West Virginia offensively went a little bit dormant in the latter portion of the first half. That's probably good for your redshirt freshman keeper, but man, she is going to get her per diem today. I mean, she's earning it for sure, and likely is going to be called into duty a few more times the last 25 minutes plus of this contest.
Switch for Iowa State. Out goes Cardullo, in goes McConnell. There is Avery Gillihan. Coming up on a career performance if she makes 2 more saves. What better time to do it than on the road in your second Big 12 match against the tournament champions of last season. Pratt plays it in. McConnell goes down. No call. Brian Miller did not see enough. Iowa State still after it. And put back. Gasping, everybody here. Potential penalty and a potential penalty kick for the Cyclones. And a foul against White. With 25 minutes to go, let's see it again.
I think she goes down a little bit too easily there, McConnell. It seemed as it happened live that Iowa State may have had an argument. Coach Fannin thought penalty kick for sure. It just seems like there's not enough contact there to send McConnell down. We're probably going to get... I thought that Moreau did just enough in order to win possession for West Virginia there.
Yep. And was absolving herself as soon as the player went down. It's McConnell again, this time lifted over the top. Now you make a good point, Nick. It just wasn't as obvious or as blatant as you need for a penalty call. And again, it's without the possible assistance of VAR, video assisted replay, as they will name it.
I think we got to give credit to Brian Miller, the referee.
There's a giveaway by West Virginia. Ongst has to recover, and Massey off her line to grab it. It's a foul instead against Iowa State, which is the right call.
Right, I think Miller has gotten it right again, Andrew. 2 testy situations inside the 18-yard box. It's Ongst against Campana. Ongst gets the positioning. Campana brings her down. Clear foul on Iowa State to give possession back to West Virginia. It's been a physical game. There just wasn't enough on that previous one. There was a no call to give Iowa State a penalty kick in a scoreless game.
Yep, and on the last foul against Iowa State, as White draws the foul, Ongst is entitled to that space. So you can shield off a defender if you're there first, and that's what she did. She got knocked over and gets the call. It's a fifth-year senior move.
Absolutely. I was just going to say that, Andrew. The credit to Angst, that is a savvy veteran play there in a tense situation after a giveaway to make sure that you do your job and win that back cleanly. And I realize that Matt Fannin, Iowa State's fourth-year head coach, might be a little bit frustrated as he continues to have a conversation with the fourth official. But again, I think he has a lot to be pleased about so far tonight. His team maybe has not possessed the ball very well here in this second half, but his goalkeeper has done the job to keep West Virginia off the scoreboard. And here over the last couple of minutes, a couple of good chances for the Cyclones.
Yes. Mountaineers ready to introduce two players that did not feature in the first half. Abby Alexa, as Rodriguez is fouled, and Emily Thompson, as again, West Virginia's transition stymied with force.
And what do you know, Rodriguez is in the thick of it again. When you think about players that Nikki Izzo-Brown has had over the last several years, some of the best attacking players have been the scrappiest. I think Hannah Abraham is a great example of that. Yeah, she had speed and technique, but she was just extremely scrappy. You don't want to go up against her as a Big 12 defender. And I think that AJ Rodriguez possesses a lot of those same traits, and it has been on display tonight. She's not afraid to go toe-to-toe. She knows this is a physical game. She's undersized at 5'2", but that has absolutely never stopped her. I think that she's playing a really solid game so far tonight, Andrew.
Yeah, completely agree. Has always had that edge. As West Virginia makes two substitutions. Thompson and Alexa in. Meanwhile, it's Booz for Iowa State. Here is Leslie. And this one, oh, enough in the reach for McCutcheon. Pratt slid early. Rodriguez on a great run. Plays it in. Takes a deflection and out of West Virginia corner.
Maybe shades of Hannah Abraham again with that knifing run into the 18-yard box by Rodriguez. She's been really solid for West Virginia tonight. Great find from Valeron into space. Get a deflection, get a corner kick. Again, West Virginia has been terrific from these set-piece situations, just hasn't had that moment to put it into the back of the net. The more you chip away at it, up to, 8 or 9 corner kicks now, eventually one is going to come.
Leslie to take. The thump coming from the feet of the fans at DDS. Corner in. And a foul by West Virginia before it even came down.
And that is what you don't want to do, right? In a physical match, don't want to take the opportunity away from yourself while the ball is in the air.
Mountaineers have introduced Abby Alexa, who plays in her 7th game so far, the freshman. It is a 6th game for Emily Thompson. Kristen Booz, meanwhile, for Iowa State, has a goal to her name as well. That's the recent substitution. Scored against Memphis. And here she is on the ball.
Great
Connell
pass.
in an onside position. 2 defenders back for West Virginia. Pratt in the box. And it takes a slice and out before Massey reached it. It is a corner kick for Iowa State with under 20 minutes to play. 71st minute here in Morgantown. Appeal from McConnell for the handball, but it's a corner kick.
Really great build-up from Iowa State. And a good recovery run by Isabel Loza for West Virginia to make things just a little bit more difficult on McConnell.
Now the men's soccer team here in support.
Lads back in action tomorrow night against Georgia State. They got their whiteout shirts for the whiteout.
Corner in from the Cyclones, flicked by Emma. Pratt, big drive, big block. And Alexa tried the wayward ball for Heredia Beltran. It's another Iowa State corner as that takes a deflection off a Mountaineer. This will be taken by Maidstone England's Maddie Brandt. starting all games here for Iowa State this season, 10 of 10.
Cyclones went to the near post last time. Let's see what the routine is again here.
Ball in from the lefty. Massey punches it down, and a whistle against the Cyclones.
I think one of the Cyclone players inside the 6-yard box made contact with Keza Massey. She has a right to the positioning, a right to the ball. One more look at the corner kick on the replay. Massey does get tripped up inside her 6-yard box. I think it's by Broughton. One more look. Oh, maybe it's Booz who is down on the turf. Andrew, Iowa State has had counterattack opportunities here over the last 5-10 minutes. You got the feeling that the way that this match is going, a counterattack is going to be the way for the Cyclones to break through if it happens.
It was a great back heel to set up the run from Emma. Ongst whistled for the infraction, and a free kick for Iowa State with under 17 to go. Just enough on it, as there was the offensive talisman for this Iowa State team, senior Mira Emma. Had an assist last game against Oklahoma State. Will she take it here and put the Cyclones ahead? Chipped in, back post, headed down by Moreau. Touched ahead by Rodriguez. One more to clear, unable to. Edwards recaptures and plays it ahead to McConnell. Takes a deflection, kneed out by Ongst. Thompson dancing away and putting it out. Edwards, ball in, target in the box. Massey, another big save for West Virginia, this time denying Edwards.
Well, we are seeing some absolutely stellar goalkeeping tonight, Andrew. What a play this is by Massey, who is arguably the top goalkeeper in the Big 12 Conference. Second time she's been called into action to make an acrobatic save. She almost makes it look easy. Reverse angle, Massey all over it. But again, good work by Iowa State to make the most of these chances and try to test Massey.
That opportunity coming instead for Sophia Thomas. Emma, corner in, is a line drive off the midsection of Leslie. And all of a sudden, Iowa State has captured the momentum of this game. McCutcheon puts it central. Alexa with a fortuitous bounce into the path of Loza. Target at the back post. Loza stops up, puts it in. It bounces. McCutcheon! And the Mountaineers find the breakthrough with 15 minutes to go.
Did it come against the run of play, or has it been on the books for the last 75 minutes? West Virginia has been knocking on the door and finally gets one through Maya McCutcheon. It came after a takeaway. It's a good service from Loza. McCutcheon did all she had to do. Gillihan has been absolutely sensational between the sticks tonight for the Cyclones. That ball, though, is just perfectly placed into the corner of the net by McCutcheon. 1-0 West Virginia. And it comes because WVU has continued to be scrappy and has continued to press Iowa State and finally capitalizes on an opportunity.
Maya McCutcheon in her 54th game with the Mountaineers. She has started all 54, puts West Virginia ahead in the Big 12 home opener. And as this pace slows down, because finally a breakthrough which changes the score, we'll have a couple of substitutions. McCarthy now on for West Virginia, along with Aria Bilal. Chipped in. Well, the Cyclones have an opportunity. No, Ongst able to recover. Might have had a handball anyway. There is McCutcheon from her defensive midfield position as McCarthy just pushes it out. And you know, that goal comes right after Keza Massey denying Sophia Thomas on an incredible header opportunity. Aria Bilal back in the game for West Virginia.
Interested to see, Andrew, what changes, if any, Matt Fannin makes with his Iowa State squad, because the Cyclones were countering well, did have a handful of chances over the last 10 minutes, just had one moment, lose possession, a little bit out of that 4-3-3 shape, and then West Virginia finally capitalizes. I think the Cyclones could get back into this match, score a goal to level things. They've played well enough to do so if they can continue to have those bright spots, those bright moments in the counterattack.
Yes. Head coach Nikki Iser-Brown in a position with her assistants closer to the midfield stripe. She usually is on the other side.
Such an important match for both of these teams, each one seeking its first Big 12 win of the season. Expanded conference, different tournament bracket, different tournament format. 3 points for West Virginia could go a long way. Felt coming into this one, this is a game the Mountaineers have to have.
It's a bounce. Alexa couldn't get to it. Took a deflection off the touch of the Iowa State center back that almost fell to the West Virginia freshman.
And I think now for West Virginia with this 1-goal lead, possession is so important. Yeah, adding another goal would be great and might salt this one away, but WVU just needs to be smart with the ball in the final 13 minutes.
Here's Bilal. Defended well by Brandt, who comes away with it. Loza goes sliding in and slows the play down, at least momentarily.
Terrific tackle by Loza. Man, she's been all over the field today. Gets the assist on the goal to McCutcheon. Has come up with some key interceptions. Really been terrific.
Jocelyn Bice into the game for Maddie Brandt, so a change on the back end for Iowa State as Emma misses the header. McCutcheon tries to bury her way in there. Instead, it's a West Virginia throw. 12 minutes to go. Maya McCutcheon, breakthrough moment for the host Mountaineers in the 76th minute. Almost exactly on the dot.
Andrew, I said a moment ago that I thought this was a game that West Virginia had to have. I think that with 12 minutes to go, Iowa State can still do something really important for its season and its program here. The Cyclones have never beaten West Virginia and have not scored a goal against WVU since 2012. Sometimes coaches say scoring is contagious, right? You score a goal against a team that you've struggled with year after year after year. You get a result here, even if it's a draw on the road. That could be a humongous point for Iowa State if the Cyclones are able to find that goal in the waning moments here.
And they're still playing with all the heart. Ongst not punished for the wayward pass. Mountaineers with a different looking lineup out there. Meanwhile, Naima Ingleton is coming to the game for Annika Leslie. Thompson makes a great touch ahead. She's got Taylor White closest to her. Trying to play that ball as Mountaineers leading goal scorer back in the game, 20 in gold. Replaced Aria Bilal just moments ago. McCarthy can put in a good ball from here. She'll look to do that. Cross comes in. Bouncing by Thompson. Here's a chance off the post. That coming from Loza. And White had the second opportunity before Iowa State was able to clear. It is the fourth piece of woodwork in the game that West Virginia has hit.
Boy, Loza, terrific attempt there. The California native has just been so strong for West Virginia in the second half.
White stays with it. And finally, advantage is played. It's going to be a very, very short free kick opportunity for West Virginia as the Mountaineers do get the call. Advantage was played, and here's the second look.
Ball just finds its way to Loza. Big time volley off the post. Cyclones are just fortunate there that it's still 1-0. Mountaineers have hit at least 2 crossbars and now a post.
Ball in from McCarthy. It's a skimmer. Thompson, Alexis, there, and puts it wide past the far post. Abby Alexa, with under 10 minutes to go, nearly sealed it for the Mountaineers.
Ball pinballs around in the box. Alexa just can't put it on target. Seems like the Mountaineers over the last 10, 12 minutes have played their best ball of the night.
McCutcheon, the goal scorer, keeps it in West Virginia's grasps. Alexa shielding powerfully. Falls to Loza. But the Cyclones are going to battle until the clock hits 0. They find a gap. It's Emma. Campana right to Massey with 8:50 left.
Andrew, for Iowa State, this game is all about mentality. That's what Coach Fannin told us before the contest began. Not just about tactics, not just about getting a result, about having the right mentality to go head-to-head with this West Virginia team. I don't think that the head coach will be questioning his team's heart and effort after tonight's contest.
McCarthy sets it up, and it's out for a corner. Great block from Iowa State recovering. Might have been Sophia Thomas to get a piece of it, as McCarthy had that one teed up. Subs in the meantime for West Virginia. Emily Thompson, who put out a great shift for the Mountaineers, and Abby Alexa, same could be said, make way for Wilson Heredia Beltran. And AJ Rodriguez also makes her way back on.
Since the goal in the 76th minute, West Virginia has had the bulk of the possession. We knew that possession was going to be huge for WVU in this match. Certainly so in the final minutes.
Heredia Beltran, corner in. Gillihan gets a piece. And another West Virginia corner upcoming. .7:22 and counting. Opportunities melting away for Iowa State. And it's West Virginia keeping the pressure on. As much as we've talked about the Big 12 tournament, Nick, it certainly has the feel of one. Corner in, short. Loza trying to set up an angle. The control has an option out wide. Makes that pass. It's Heredia Beltran. Ball in, over the top of Wilson. Headed down, and another missile rising above by Loza, who has been all over the box for West Virginia.
Love to see her get one, Andrew, because she deserves it at this point. She just plays with such speed and effort, and as you said, control. Has really been bossing this match in the second half.
Scored last game against UCF, got the opener against Central Florida. And it seems that a flip maybe has switched in her goal-scoring touch. As much as we've discussed confidence and mindset being a part of it.
The box score will remember McCutcheon as the goal scorer if this score stays at 1-0, but really Loza and Rodriguez have been critical for West Virginia in the midfield. So important tonight.
Campana. Loza defending. How much does she have left in the tank? Heredia Beltran with 5.5 to go. Drops to Moreau. Sachets away. But it's Iowa State that comes up with it. Miller into the box. Valeron clears it central for Wilson. West Virginia wanted a handball. Our referee says that hit the torso. Doesn't matter as West Virginia still finds itself in possession with 5 minutes to go. Entering the 86th minute at Dick Dalesk Soccer Stadium. Breakthrough comes from the Mountaineers holding midfielder Maya McCutcheon in the 76th minute here in Morgantown. Final instructions from Coach Fannin. As this game has gotten even better, foul on Iowa State in terms of physicality and edge is what we had in the first half. Left us wanting and did not disappoint for the second 45 minutes. Carry on that foul. Got to give credit to the Mountaineer fans in this one. Came out on a beautiful night to Dick Dalesk Soccer Stadium and have been the driving force. In a good sense where the game was headed, how it was being played. Trying to see their team towards the optimal result, a victory. They're 3 minutes and 55 seconds away from it. Off of Wilson, throwing Iowa State, but not before they make substitutions. Agruso and Booth. They will hustle to make those swaps.
And for Iowa State, it's time to throw everything you've got at this West Virginia team. Just see what sticks with 3:30 to go.
Iowa State had to communicate what their changes were. Campana and Edwards sprinting off. 3:15 left. It's got to come soon for the Cyclones. Here's McCutcheon. Slide in from Pratt, and it is a yellow card for the reckless challenge on the Mountaineer goal scorer. Pratt can't believe it. We'll show you a second look. That is not good.
Certainly late. Yeah, challenge is definitely late. I don't think she has an argument whatsoever. Matt Fannin making a similar argument, but I think he'll agree after he watches the replay.
Another push. West Virginia free kick with under 3 to play.
And see, that's what you can't have in this situation for Iowa State. Clock stopped with 3:30 to go to make those substitutions. 45 seconds have ticked off the clock, and essentially the Cyclones have had no possession of the ball because of 2 fouls.
Yeah, the slower game favors West Virginia, and Moreau makes a wise decision to play that down the line to Heredia Beltran, rolling it down the line. West Virginia's got it back. Loza, missile grasped by Gillihan. Not sure if that's the play that you want with 2:15 to go. If you're West Virginia, hold on to it, take it to the flag. 2 minutes away from a result. Down goes White, no call. Ingleton. Pop fly as Pratt leaves it out, under 2 to go. This really could end any way. Emma plays a nice ball to Pratt. Ongst keeps it far away from her goalkeeper. Bose in the box. And a West Virginia goal kick with less than 90 seconds to go. It comes off the Cyclone last. Loudest voice coming from head coach Nikki Izzo Brown down on the West Virginia sideline. Not to be understated, both teams need this one, and West Virginia has it. McCutcheon lost it to Miller, and Ongst lets it go for Keza Massey with 45 seconds to go. Good command of her position. Oh, what a touchdown from Rodriguez. Pratt on her back. And that's off of the Cyclone. 22 seconds to go. Whistle blows. Clock stops at 16 seconds. Throw down from Valeron. High kick from Pratt. It'll be a West Virginia free kick. And it'll be a West Virginia victory. With that, the final call of the game. Dick Dalesk counts it down, and West Virginia counts a victory here at home. 1-0 the final score as Maya